willingness to take the time. I have several questions, but I'm going to ask one because I know there's a line, but I guess this is probably a pretty basic question, but it's also, at this time, I feel like a lot of our legislatures really don't even understand this question. What is your understanding of the legitimate and proper role of government as stated in our Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and can you identify what those roles or that role is for the government?
Yeah, it's basically to do for us what we can't do for ourselves. And that means, like, we can't build roads for ourselves. You know, we can't fight a war, so the government's job has to be to fight our war and protect our country. In the modern era, it's gotten more complicated, so there are a few more things that government has to do, like regulate internet stuff or, you know, a banking system, by and large. But mostly, the role of government is to create the rule of law and enforce that rule of law so that individuals can go out and compete in the marketplace and provide for themselves and their families and pursue their dreams. That's simplistic, but that's really the role of government. The role of government is to protect our rights. That's the role of government, is to protect our rights, to create laws and systems where our rights are protected, and to do for us only those things we cannot do for ourselves. It's not to create jobs. The role of government is not to create jobs. It's not to grow or stimulate the economy. I wish it were, by the way. I really do. I wish that government could stimulate the economy. I wish that by passing laws and spending money, government could stimulate the economy and create jobs. You know what? You know why I wish that? Because that's a lot easier than having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and open your business. That's a lot easier than having to work 7 days a week for 20 years. It would be easier if the president could just wave his magic presidential wand and create jobs and opportunity. But the fundamental truth is that the only thing that really creates jobs and prosperity is the willingness of people to dream and then work hard in pursuit of their dreams and to risk things in the pursuit of those dreams. And that's why America is the only society, quite frankly, in human history where a billionaire can be put out of business by someone born into poverty. Because the person born into poverty had a better idea, worked harder, and before you know it, the billionaire's out of business. That's a great thing. That's only possible in a country where the government doesn't pick the winners and the losers. And that's what's wrong with stimulus spending. Stimulus dollars go to people who are
First grade grades. The purpose of government, with rights outlined and duties outlined and jurisdictions outlined, and divisions of jurisdictional powers, like basically there's two types of law. The law of the land, which should be outlined in some form of government, and merchant law. The law of government should be to keep the peace, to keep the jurisdictions separate, protect the rights of the individual as in a republic form of government, allow free commerce and trade amongst the states and the people, and so forth. We're kind of having a problem with that today because we're under a different standing of law other than constitutional. We're converted to corporations. But I'll get into that in my 3-minute speech. My name is Alexander Snicker. The purpose of government is to protect the life, liberty, and property, and the security of the citizens within that country. That is all. The legitimate role of government should be, pursuant to the 10th Amendment, the Supremacy Clause, Article 6, Paragraph 2, to keep the division of powers, such as standings of law, corporate, common law, separate, protect the rights of the individual, and respect commerce to be free. And in Article 1, Section 10, all law shall impede congregation of commerce. Keep free without restrictions, and to print their own currency as defined in the Constitution, which the private banks have basically broke our country. That's where we're in the day with unemployment. Thank you. I said before, it's probably the quickest question you ever heard somebody ask before, to protect the life, liberty, and property of the citizens. Everything kind of goes along with that. Everything that the federal government would do goes along with those 3 lines. I know that you've seen in some of the videos here to do for you what you can't do for yourself, or something else along those lines. I think that's a gross misunderstanding of the proper role of government, and just another one of the reasons why we need to have regular citizens that are going to Washington, D.C., because what's not being said in there was stated in an earlier question, is to use force against a company through legislation when it came to bad loans. Use force through legislation on a private company. I just want everybody to understand what was said there, because that is some of the scariest things that I've ever heard. Because if you allow for that to happen, what else is going to happen after that? Thank you.